Well, one of the things I want to do in this book is pick out pictures that you've never seen. And here is Chef A. Corsini, who ran Corsini's restaurant for many years. When he first came to Nashville in 1910 as a chef at the Hermitage Hotel. Now, nobody in the city of Nashville hardly has seen that picture. And I did that all over this book because it's just fun to pick out things that nobody's seen. Look at page, if you got a book 196, there's a 1947 picture of Harding Road showing the Belle Meade Motel in 1947 when it was still a tourist camp. And then they had legitimate tourists staying there. Later years, they weren't that legitimate. Since I'm on that thing, motels. In the 80s, Gary Smith ran the motel, and he said some of Smith's most faithful customers were John Eddie Kane, John Bransford Jr., Neil Cargill Jr., the Wallace brothers, Hamilton and Bransford, Jake, I was with him last night, and the Cunningham brothers, Bud and John. From the start, John Eddie Kane was unofficial chairman of the board. If customers wanted to register complaints or make changes, Gary sent them to John Eddie, who had a strong voice and was willing to use it to maintain proper order. Mr. and Ms. Coyne Williams were regular visitors. When Tennessee Ernie Ford was in town for the Grand Ole Opry to film a commercial for Martha White Flour, he would stay with the Williams on Chickering Road, and they would bring him over to the motel for dinner and conversation. One night when the three of them were there, that's Ms. Williams, Coyne Williams, and Tennessee Ernie, Ms. Williams wanted to go home. And so her husband says, well, honey, just take the car and go home. I just get Gary to bring us home when this place closes at 11 o'clock. And so she went home, and then at 11 o'clock, Tennessee Ernie Ford and Coyne Williams got in an argument about who could bake the best biscuits. And Gary had plenty of Martha White flour, so they said, could we use your kitchen? And they went in there and got into a cooking contest. And at 6 o'clock in the morning, Gary finally went in there and said, gentlemen, I got to take you home because I got to open this place up again at 7. There are more stories about the Belle Meade Motel than almost anything in the city of Nashville. Going back many years, Betty Sue McNeely, who was married to Neil Parrish's older brother, Craig Parrish. She came up here in 1950 when, from Birmingham, where she lived, to visit her Mount Vernon Junior College roommate, Betty Bullard. Betty arranged a blind date for Betty Sue with Craig Parrish. After dinner, when the four young people were pondering what to do next, Craig said, let's go to the Belle Meade Motel. Well, Betty Sue cringed, thinking she might be raped, and tried to make herself as inconspicuous as possible in the back seat. But they had fun at the motel. She had no idea it was a popular hangout for teenagers, and everybody behaved. But that's what I wrote about Belle Meade Motel. I was going to write about Bob Grannis's studio, but I found out that Bob Grannis, when he got dementia, his wife sold his photographs to a young woman named Lila Grossman, who has still got a photographic studio, Bob Grannis Photographic Studio in Berry Hill. And so I got her to give me some wonderful pictures. And look at if you've got a book, look at the lower left-hand corner. She gave me that picture, and it shows a whole lot of African Americans seated in the outfield at Sulphurdale, and I write about the Nashville Vols, what it was, and she didn't know why the picture was important, but I did. I went to the archives and within 5 minutes found that it was a Brooklyn Dodgers Milwaukee Braves baseball game, the 3rd of April 1953. And the crowd at Sulphurdale numbered about 12,500, which was a record for the year. And every African American, it seemed, in town was there.